This is part 3 of the RET Australia tutorial for the use of the new dealer portal. This final tutorial will explain how an application is finalised once an installer has completed all of the on-site tasks via the installer app. The solar retailer logs back into their dealer portal via bridgeselect.com.au/RET. And once you've done that, you'll come up with your login page. As before, we'll use our demonstration login details for the purpose of this tutorial. Click on Retailer and verify. Now just bear in mind, this is the part 3, so this is where the installer has actually completed his or her tasks on site, and now you're logging back into the portal to complete the application and submit it to RET. At this point, you'll need to attach a copy of the customer invoice to page 4 of the application in the portal. So for this particular one for David Jones, what we would do is go into the Edit or View function, go into section 4 for Documents and Photos, and what you'll see now is all of the various information that has been attached by the installer on site is now present in the actual application on the portal. This includes client signature, installer signature, and designer signature, which are all date stamped and geotagged. So the process now is to actually attach a copy of the customer invoice for the purchase of the system. We've saved a couple of dummy files into our desktop computer just to show the process of how that happens. So all you do is just browse your computer for the particular file that you're looking for. We'll put in this dummy customer invoice there. Takes literally a matter of seconds for that to be uploaded and shown down the bottom here. If you wish to send RET Australia an invoice for the value of the STC claim, you again can do that just by attaching which particular invoice that you want to send to us. As I mentioned, that's not mandatory to send us an invoice. We will still pay based on the information that's provided. But if you do want some referencing tools, then we'd recommend you send us an invoice so we can email you the details of the payment through to your accounts department. And finally, if the electrician wasn't able to get a copy of the electrical certificate, which in this case he has or she has, you can actually attach that certificate just by browsing your computer again if you have a copy of it, and by attaching it to the computer in the same manner. A little bit more data in that photo, so it's just taken a few seconds extra. So there you have your 3 attachments. Now at this stage, that application is now completed, so all the relevant information has been there. So what we'll do is check and press partial save and exit. Now, as you'll see, all of these various boxes now have all come up as green, whereas previously they would have all been blanked. So this is showing that the photographs, that you have 8 in total, your panel serial numbers are attached, your inverter information and acceptance has been confirmed, copy of an electrical certificate, customer signature, installer signature, and designer signature all attached. And what's happened now that that has happened is you've now got a new claim button that's arrived now that the application has actually been completed. And it's simply just a matter of clicking on that claim button to submit it to RET Australia. What you'll now see is that in this new window that's turned up, you actually have 2 options when it comes to the submission of the actual application itself. The first one is to actually show to submit the application to RET Australia for checking prior to the submission going to RET Australia. This allows people or solar retailers and clients the ability to allow RET Australia to actually check this application prior to it being submitted. There are some major advantages to that if you are uncertain about a particular piece of information within that application, we can at least check it, confirm, and if there is any problems, we can send it back to you before it's submitted, and then you can make corrections if needed. If you're happy with the application and everything's in order, you just simply click on the other Submit to Rec Trader without checking and press the Submit button. And in this instance, we've actually got an invalid installer. So what we'll do is we'll just cancel that. and we'll go back to the installer section and see what's actually happened there. And what this will actually be doing is showing up that the accreditation number that we've got for this particular installer is not valid. One of the key functions that comes with the new portal is that it has the ability to check your installer's CEC accreditation details, and if for some reason they are incorrect, it will not allow you to submit them. So in this case, what we would normally now do is go back through to this into our installer section, go through to the list, and what we can then do is actually modify those particular details and get it correct. So just going back to the list of applications. So again, once that was corrected, all you do is click submit claim, and it will automatically take it off to RET Australia for processing. We've already completed some other applications here just so you can actually see the process. In this case, what it allows you to do now is to find out that there are neither of these applications in the in progress section, but have now been submitted to RET for processing. Once they've been submitted to the Clean Energy Regulator, they'll actually come into this section here, and then eventually, once approved, will get shifted into this section showing that it's actually been approved by the Clean Energy Regulator. At this stage, if you ever get any applications that are being sent to us just for checking, once they come to us to be checked, we will then submit those back to you, and they'll then come back into your in progress section ready for lodging. A couple of other important things that you need to know is that there are a number of errors that are made in online STC applications. The biggest one being that of the electrical certificate and the date of installation. Now, if the date on the electrical certificate doesn't match the installation date that's been taken on the actual dealer portal, the only way of getting around that and still retaining an online fast application is to actually have your electrical certificate reissued by the electrician showing the correct installation date that's on the portal. If that's not able to be done and not able to be reattached and the application has been lodged with incorrect information, RET Australia can continue to still process it, but it will go down a slow manual processing path rather than the faster solar panel validation process if your installer validated the panels on site. So just remembering, once the application has been submitted to RET Australia, information and data cannot be changed. The only option in that event, as I said, is to email the information to RET Australia that needs to be corrected, and we'll then take that through the manual processing path with the Clean Energy Regulator. This is likely to slow down your approval times and potentially payment processes as well. So it is important that for your own cash flow and benefit that you ensure that the information provided in these online applications is correct. As always, the friendly staff at RET Australia are more than happy to discuss any issues with you. Please contact our office staff during normal Perth business hours. And again, we thank you for taking the time to view these tutorials, and we trust that this new service will be of benefit to your business.